Peace. This is the enemy's public. I am Bro.Nasir. I hope everyone is having a good evening. Tonight, I want to discuss dehumanizing our people for entertainment. MGM, Warner Brothers, and others. All these major studios that's under the realm and umbrella of entertainment. I'm going to start with speaking about a movie that, in all actuality, is in the Congressional Library today. A movie called Birth of a Nation. I'm not speaking about the Birth of a Nation that dealt with the character of Nat Turner that Nate Parker did a few years ago. I'm speaking about one of the first blockbusters that MGM made back in 1915. This movie sparked the Ku Klux Klan, and it got a lot of brothers lynched, a lot of sisters lynched, a lot of our people lynched. The mockery of it all is that put the link in the chat. The mockery of it all when it comes to this movie is there was none of us in the movie. The black men who raped the white woman that caused the outrage, it was white men in blackface. They didn't even hire us to do it. And this justified in real life the slaughters of a lot of our people. And to this day, our people have been dehumanized for others' entertainment, even in the field of sport and play. A lot of our brothers make good money boxing, mixed martial arts, AMA. Yet that's for someone's entertainment. Brute. They didn't always get paid for punching people in the face and trying to knock each other's head off. They didn't always get paid at all. Now they're making millions of dollars punching people in the face. Brute. Floyd Mayweather made over $1 billion. One of the best that ever did it, punching people in the face. He found a way to punch people in the face and not get hit. He's not going to be one who's walking around out of his mind because he took one too many punches. He should be thankful for that. Yet, our demise, and we have always been the entertainment of others. And that's all they expect us to be. When one of us come out and we speak truth to power, because it is the power, because these athletes and entertainers allow people to exercise power over them. So it is truth to power. It's truth to power if you allow someone to have power over you. So that's why I call it truth to power. Now, our entertainers in particular, those of us who are in theatrics, should be mindful of the parts that we take, because it would determine what people will see you as in your as far as your career. You need to be mindful of that. Now, I have a clip that I'm going to play of Denzel Washington speaking about how they offer him a part in a movie that he had to turn down because it was a part that, dehumanized him. So I want to play this clip real quick.
The city party, I was very fortunate. In fact, he came to I talked to him before that, but I think it was when he came to Soldier's Play. He said, "You're good."
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and wow. I got a part in a movie in 1986. I called it The Nigga They Couldn't Kill.
Oh.
Yeah, he was supposed to be, he raped a white woman, and they tried to electrocute him, but it didn't work. And he became sort of a cult hero. No, not that one. That was the other awful one. But, and then they tried to hang him, and they tried to do all this stuff. And I had a lot of training day in me. There were some Jewish people in the audition, and I said, yeah. They said, no, it's funny. It's like they hang them and then they can't. I said, yeah, like you bring some Jewish people into a room and they think it's a shower, but it's gas. Oh. And they said, right. I said, right. That ain't funny. So to me, it wasn't funny about putting a rope around my MFing neck either. I made a point. The guy was like, who the hell was this little nigga talking like this? So anyway, make a long story long, I called Sidney, and I was sick because he told me to call him. If I said, man, they offered me $600,000 to play the nigga they couldn't kill. And he said, I'm not going to tell you what to do. He said, I'm not going to tell you that, Denzel. He says, but I can tell you this. The first 2 or 3 or 4 films you do in this business will dictate how you're perceived in this business. Uh-huh. So you make a decision. He didn't tell me what to do, and I'll give him credit for that. And I turned it down, and 6 months later, I got Cry Freedom.
Now, it's very important, the parts that we take, because we don't want to take parts that is so memorable that people always refer to you as that character that you played. It's like, if like Rerun, like Arnold on Different Strokes, everybody will always see Rerun as Rerun. Everybody will always see Gary Coleman as Arnold. Though he played in movies, everybody identify him as Arnold, JJ, Jimmy Walker. I know he played on Let's Do It Again, but everybody he called himself Jimmy JJ Walker. But he don't like when people walk up to him and say Dynamite. He don't like that. Yet, it's the dehumanization of our people with the parts that they offer us that's problematic. Any part that they would offer us that cause us to be so diabolical and so wicked, we need to not take those parts. If it's a part that a man is so brute and disrespectful towards a woman beater in the movie, or a or a pedophile in the movie, or a any demeaning part that they offer us, especially as a established actor. I'm talking about actors now, especially a established actor, or a part where you have to effeminize yourself, like wear a dress or play other than a strong man. There's nothing wrong with being compassionate and sensitive towards your children and your other half as a man. But to have men so soft and effeminate, it doesn't dehumanize them. But when you have a man playing a man so wicked that dehumanizes them, like a cold-blooded killer, that's dehumanization. For a man to play a serial rapist, that's dehumanization. And the gang movies, if there's like, take menace to society, they use the Roman numeral 2. If we are menace 2, who are menace 1? It has to be a menace 1 if we are menace 2. Boys in the Hood, I know that depicts the reality of what goes on and what they say goes on in our neighborhoods. That it's supposed to depict what goes on in our neighborhoods, but that's not necessarily true. I know that LA is not all surf and sun, but it's not as like they put it. And they like to keep the war going. They magnify the war, the so-called war that went on against our brothers, especially when they're not doing it like that anymore. They're more together now. Yet, in order for us to remain in the condition that we're in, they must dehumanize us through entertainment. My brother Key Norfolk,
Hey, salutes, good brother.
salute to you, good brother. Thanks for coming through. We're
Yes,
talking
sir.
about the dehumanizing of our people for entertainment. MGM, Warner Brothers, and others, all these major studios who make these movies depicting us as animals. Before you came on, I talked about Birth of a Nation, the movie made in 1915, where they had black men raping white women. And they didn't even have black men in the movie. They had white men in black face playing black men. That's the mockery of it all. They didn't hire black men and play the black men. They had white men in blackface playing black men. And the Klan went out and they started slaughtering our people. And that movie right now is in the Congressional Library as a icon. The first blockbuster was Birth of a
Mm,
Nation.
that's right. And you know what? At the same time, it's already a mockery. See, we never thought about this. We never took this high seat to say, hey, you know, how is the person who did this to us able to make movies and show us about what they did to us, and that shit be cool.
Exactly. And what's crazy about that, how can a rapist portray us as a rapist, knowing that the narrative was totally opposite when it came to men forcing themselves on women? They know damn well that it was the opposite, that white men were raping our women. and you had a proud father thinking he was having a child, and then when he looked like the baby, he looks like this dude. So we don't have a history of doing none of that. See, they like to change the narrative and depict us as some animals, and that's only done to justify the slaughter. And what's crazy, the ignorant among us were rightly, they would just rightfully so, not rightfully so, but they'll believe that because it depicts a people that's not them as someone animalistic. And like our children was this Disney. I'm gonna add Disney. I said others, so I'm gonna add Disney. Disney with the cartoons. When Disney draw their cartoons, they start off with a sex organ first. They draw a sex organ first, and then they draw around a sex organ to create the cartoon character. And if I couldn't see it because I really wasn't into Disney, but a child with those brand new eyes can see they're really more symbol literate than we are. Because a child can point something out to you that you don't see. You'd be like, wow, how my baby point this out to me? And it's put in the cartoons, it's put in the characters. Sesame Street. What's that? Bert and Ernie. We all know what time it is with them two.
Oh yeah, we already know what that was, bro. Sorry about that, man. I'm running back and forth to the kitchen, but yeah, we know what's up with them. That was the first introduction.
Exactly. Sesame Street.
Mm-hmm.
And we all know what Walt Disney was accused of to this very day. With the pedophilia and everything. Walt Disney.
Oh yeah.
And
yeah, man.
A lot of those characters, those who were in the Mickey Mouse Club, you see all of them have bizarre behavior when they grow up. When they young adults, they have bizarre behavior because of what they went through.
Oh, they went through some trauma, and there's plenty of those children to talk and tell about it. They all ended up either schizophrenic, psychotic, schizophrenic, or antidepressant or depressant. You know what I mean? End up having to take antidepressants. You know what I mean? So we can see the track record of the history that comes from this lineage of entertainers.
Yeah, like Corey Feldman, Corey Haim. We all know what happened between them.
With Orlando Brown,
exactly.
What's it? Raven-Symoné,
Raven-Symoné, Britney Spears. All bizarre behavior.
Hannah Montana,
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yet, when they have our people play somebody so wicked, that sometimes those parts stick to the person throughout their whole career, and they can't shake that, like the Bishop character. I'm gonna go there. People can get mad all they want, like the Bishop character. Pac got stuck in character, brother. He got stuck in character. When he played Bishop.
Oh yeah, I'm with you. He got stuck in character, man. But it that blew him up. That's what he blew up at. So that's why he got stuck in character. That character is what took him to his next level. You know what I mean? So he stayed right there.
How could you get stuck in character to the point that you are a millionaire when you have people that can actually throw down for you and you out there throwing down? And then the person come back and get you. That makes no sense to me. Makes absolutely no sense. He got stuck in character and hit, and it ultimately met his demise because he was stuck in character. He out street fighting, knowing he was more of a revolutionary than a thug. Pac was educated, bro. He went to art school. You know, the same school that Jada Pinkett went to. So he was so good and convincing that you got people to this very day thinking that he was the hardest cat because he convinced them that he was. I respect his lyrics and all that, but he was not the thug that he portrayed. Was not. He was a lyricist. I'm from the streets. I could throw down, but I won't walk around here calling myself no damn thug. I'm not that. But I can get busy, but I'm not a thug. I'm not going to do that. That's dehumanizing your own self when you say that, when you say those type of things. And they exploited that. When I say dehumanizing our people for entertainment, it's not necessarily only through the parts that we take. It's through our music also, because when you bring a product, a finished product to a record label, and they tell you it's not enough violence in your lyrics, or it's, you know, I don't hear money, hoes, and clothes. I don't hear that. I don't hear nothing about no bling. I don't hear nothing about you shooting your own brother. They'll send you out if you don't have that in your music. I don't know about today, but I remember Jay-Z said he would rather rhyme like Common Sense. I remember him saying that. He would rather rhyme like that. He would rather, because you can tell he got it in him by how he spit today. Yeah, we are not, you know, it's not really forced, because you can have some integrity and say, well, I'll put this product out, or I'll put this project out myself. See, that's the problem with some of the people, our people who get money. They don't want to reinvest in themselves. Take your money and invest in yourself. Put your own project out. That way you can say and do what you want. And if it's hot, it'll get some play. The only reason why we hear all this is because it was forced. They forced all this on us. And it's played so repetitive. Now, if a song's played all day, you're going to end up singing that song. If it's being played all day, you're going to end up singing it. Same 8 records all day, every day. Either you're going to damn sure end up knowing this song, but you're going to end up playing the song, humming the song, even if you don't like it. I got a witness to the point that I don't even listen to the radio anymore. I just play what I like. Who won between the East Coast, West Coast so-called rivalry? The record companies. That's who win. Especially when both artists are gone and they don't have to be paid royalties. They don't have any publishing. The record companies, the publishing companies, they win when the artist is dead. That's the dehumanizing of our people for entertainment. You know, people come out in droves, 50, 70,000 people, 30,000 people to see somebody get beat up. People bet, people win a lot of money. It's pay-per-view. I'm guilty of paying for it to see somebody get beat up. That's dehumanization. It's a skill to be able to punch and not get hit. Somebody throwing a punch at you, you're not even there. You're on the other side of them punching them. That's a skill. But it's dehumanizing us. The parts that we take dehumanize us. Brother? We should never involve ourselves in a project that's going to dehumanize our people or ourselves as an individual. We should never take those parts in a film or a project. We should never take a part in the project that takes away our manhood. We should never do that. This is not going to be a long stream. Anyone who wants to come up and
oh yeah, good brother.
Here,
Yes, sir.
may do so.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
We got anybody in the chat? I want to get a chance to share the video. I'm scared that it's gonna knock me off. Can you hear me?
Yes, I'll do it, brother. Yeah, I just did it.
Yeah.
I just did it anyway. Yeah. See a struggling actor. They sometimes they get, sometimes they get desperate and they'll take anything that's offered to them, and then they end up being them for their entire career. Yet, like Denzel Washington said, Sidney Poitier told him, he said, "I'm not going to tell you what to do, but choose your parts, carefully, because you don't want to be known as something." It's like Rollo. Remember Sanford and Son? Rollo,
right.
Rollo, he didn't like what people called him Rollo, but that's what he's known for. If you that so long, you don't take any other parts. Just like Red Fox, he's known for Sanford and Son and nothing else. You've seen him on
right.
You've seen him on Harlem Nights, but I haven't seen him on any other films besides Harlem Nights. I'm sure he have other films, but I haven't seen him on anything else besides Harlem Nights. As a matter of fact, Fred Sanford is his real name. He changed his name to Red Fox.
Right.
So you call him Fred, so if you call him Fred Sanford, you'll be calling him by his real name. Anyway.
Right. That's real, man. You know what? I ain't know that.
Yeah, this is his real name, Fred Sanford.
That's deep too.
And
that's deep.
Jamie Foxx was such a fan, he called himself Jamie Foxx.
Right. Right. That's where they came from. When people don't really get it or understand it, like I say, the world is a stage. So a lot of things we looking at, we have to say, well, damn, is it sad or is it funny? And with that
Yeah,
being said, it's either sad to you and funny to them, or funny to you and sad to them. Either way, it's a flipping of a coin. This
yeah,
is the dual talk, the double-headed snake that they're talking about, which really isn't a double-headed as a snake. It's just the snake eating its tail. It's just the snake being in total continuance. You feel me? This is the secret
yeah,
knowledge, sacred
yeah.
knowledge.
You know, double-edged sword, man. No matter which way you go, forward or backward, it's cutting something. A double edge, bro. You get that double edge. Okay, how you swing that backwards or forward, it's cutting something. And
That's
that's what we
right.
have. That's what we have when it comes to, you know, how. And it's crazy too when you see somebody who have talent and you don't want to exploit nothing besides the talent. You know how wicked you
Right.
gotta be to not to exploit someone any other way besides the talent that they have. I'd rather exploit the talent instead of exploit the person. You
Yeah,
come
you know,
about with anything else besides trying to get that talent out there. You try to tell him he need to do this or she need to do that.
that's right, man. You know, that's what we get put at all times. You know, when we doing favor for a favor type venues and shit like that. So, you know, I just kind of feel like that's what we get caught up in. And we have to create our own platforms. We have to create our own avenues. We can do it. We just got to realize, you know, what pals are shit and which pals are not. And, you know, I feel like, man, we can be strong from there.
I agree. Because if we don't just see our strength is in when we do things ourselves. Whenever you get other people involved, that person has a say so, and they're gonna exercise the power that they do have. So when we come together and we decide we're gonna do things on our own, like when Dame Dash, all the other brothers, Dame Dash, what's his name, Irv Gotti, all those other brothers coming together to start the publishing company. They didn't want that because there was gonna be power. There would be a lot of power for them, and they wouldn't need, and we wouldn't need them. They want us to need them. Put it that way. They want us to need them. But what, in all actuality, I keep saying this. I say this all the time. That regardless to what, whether you're a basketball player or a singer, you are putting asses in those seats. You can do that yourself. You know how I know that you can do that yourself? Because the brother Corey Holcomb, the comedian, he's like my favorite comedian. Brother out of Chicago. He live in LA now. If you haven't heard him, listen to Corey Holcomb. He's not in Hollywood, though you can see him on TV every now and then, but he's not in Hollywood like that. But he does everything himself. He can go and sell out a theater promoting it himself. And that's why he say what he wants to say. That's power. Because he's not dependent on the power structure. There's no way someone have to be apologetic for speaking the truth when they got $500 million. You are a $500 million slave and punk if you apologize for speaking the truth. Even if it's false to somebody else, if it's true to you, you think it's true. You don't have no business apologizing. But they put so much pressure on them to the point that they apologize because they get so tired. Because let me tell you, the so-called power structure are relentless and they don't let up when you anger them. They don't let up. They don't want to be known as the people with power. Why? Because to take away their victim status, and they're going to exercise that power. They're going to stay on you, stay on you, stay on you. They're going to use the power that they have, whether it's turning people away from you and against you through their propaganda machine. They stay on it and they'll put your name out there every single day. They have people following you. They have paparazzi out there after you, following your every move because there's no expectation of privacy in public, so you can't do shit about that. So they'll have people following you, putting mics in your face wherever you go. That's how they do things. And that's really dehumanizing a person when you do that, all because that person said something that you didn't like. Yet, the movies that they make, the sitcoms that they make that portray us negatively, we can't speak about that. They tell us that it's entertainment. Yet we don't find it humorous when it's to our demise and it depict us in a negative light. We don't find it funny. But everybody do. And we all know one of the funniest things that they like to see is one of us in a damn dress. They love seeing us in a dress.
Oh yeah, that's what they want to see. One of us in a dress, and this is why we had issues with Dave Chappelle. We had issues with Cat Williams. We had issues, with Wesley Snipes. Even though he did put the dress on, it was, just some issues for some more shit to go on. And he was like, "Look, man, I already did this shit, and you know what? That's it."
Exactly.
You feel me? So then they went and said, "Oh, we on him for his taxes. You're
Yep.
on him because he don't want to put your fucking thongs on." You know what I mean?
Because he told them he not doing that shit no more. So all of a sudden he has income tax evasion, all because all of a sudden now because he won't. He said, "I did this shit before. I'm not doing it again." All of a
Ooh,
sudden he have
brother, I
income
got one good. Oh my God, I can't believe, man, you so dope with these topics, my brother. Man, we could tie in Antonio Brown with this. Guess what he did? Really? He slept with Tom Brady's ex-wife, man.
Is that right? Oh wow.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I was wondering where this Warren shit come from. Like,
Yeah.
about throwing a shoe and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. What you think about that? Real quick. I'm gonna grab this
I'm really
plate out of here real quick.
I'm really unfamiliar with that. I'm really
Yeah, I
unfamiliar
just
with
saw that. And that was after I did the thing with the warrant situation with the standoff. So then I actually saw that he actually slept with um
they so
the
slick
dude's
with this.
wife.
They slick with
Yeah,
that,
they
bro.
slick with this shit.
That's probably why they was surrounding his house, brother. Because if you look at how they do things now, what was the brother Neil Long's fiance, the one who got fired from the Boston? He was the head coach. Forgot his name.
I
Forgot the
know who you're talking about, but I forgot his name, brother. I
the
know who you're
brother
talking about, brother. The
brother who
black
was
dude.
exactly the brother who was he just got fired. They're mentioning him, dragging him, but they're not saying who she is. They're not even mentioning her, but they're dragging the brother's name in the media, but not mentioning the white girl, protecting her. They so slick with it, bro. They slick with that shit. And it's probably why they was at their brother's house. All because of that forbidden fruit. And since when do they come like that over what they said they was there for? Is to have a spectacle at the brother's house. You know, all the news media. Because I know if I threw a shoe, let's say for instance, if I threw a shoe at my wife, they didn't even say if the shoe hit her. They just say he threw a shoe. I threw a shoe at my wife. No media is going to show up and have it on the news for hours. I know he's, Antonio Brown. I know that, he's famous and all that, but still, why was the media there in droves just because somebody said he threw a shoe? That's real slick. They did that because of what he did with that man's wife, ex-wife, whoever she was to him. Even though that brother's a troll, Tony Brown's a troll. I like him though because he trolls them. Anything to dehumanize one of us, to make us look like we're less than human. And some of us fall right into the trap. This is not going to be a long stream. I'm probably going to stop at the hour mark. Getting a little tired, a little under the weather. Yeah, but we need to be mindful of parts that we take. Because Hollywood will have you looking crazy out here. I'm going to play a clip. I'm going to play a clip of the minister speaking about Holly Weird.
You who love to be on the screen in Hollywood, that the enemy can write any kind of damn script and put it in your hand and you want to go on the movie screen. You don't have the courage to say, I ain't playing that part. Because you're poor, ragged, hungry, maybe one paycheck from poverty, and you're living high in a delusionary world that you got to keep money coming in, so any script they give you is all right. And we're going to put a stop to your foolishness. You're not going to misrepresent us to the world for a damn dollar from your enemy. We're not going to allow that to happen anymore. We'll snatch your behind off the stage and whip your ass.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's what needs to happen. Because a lot of these Negroes would do things because they feel there is no consequence for what they do. They do it willingly. They do it with no fear of consequence. When we let them know adamantly that there's consequence for them misrepresenting us, that'll change the whole entire dynamic. We need to stop letting people go out here and portray us like we're animalistic, like we're fools or something.
That's right. That's what the slave narrative do to us too, right off, and people don't understand that. So it's making it like all of us were in that situation, and all of us were not. You know, unfortunately, some of us was. As for so were some others also, but that just wasn't the narrative for our color of people. Everybody with a dark tone of skin was a fucking slave. If you a slave, you a nigga. You know, so this is the narrative that's being painted. This is why this is dangerous. This is why we got to know our do research and know our history.
Exactly. Now, I mean, I always ask that question, brother. You know, I don't do the feel good moments. I don't do that. You know, I like to perceive reality, and I like to just speak the truth, not perspective, but the truth. Now, a lot of us will speak real powerful of what's, ours and what's not ours. But I don't like the feel good moments. I like for wherever we speak about that we're perceiving reality. Now, when we speak about our, power here in America, I just want to know what happened to us to the point that it's like people say, okay, slavery never existed, you know, that, you know, we haven't been through some of the things that obviously we did because look at our condition today. How do we get into in the condition that we're in today? How? How do we end up like this? How do we end up to the point that if one of us is mowed down on the street, we have to go to his brother for justice? That's where I'm going to with this. Why do we have to go to their brother expecting him to do something about his own brother's behavior? Why do we do that?
You know, we do that, and you know what how I look at it. The so-called slaves of those days were the people who were at the lowest because there wasn't Walmarts and shit to go work at. There was Mr. Johnson in them house. So those people who were slaves back then is the same people who on welfare today. Um, you know, I hope that ain't go over too many people's head. So that wasn't just the permanent situation of our people. Yes, like today, we have some of our people on welfare and project houses sitting on the corner looking crazy with half their damn head done and half their damn head not done. But also, we have some articulate, educated, wealthy, and you understand what I'm saying? See,
Yes,
to say that we all just came from slavery is the same shit as to say that it used to be black and white back in the day.
yes,
Everything, yeah, you know, like life wasn't in color. When life came in color, like you see,
yeah, I understand, brother. Yep, our dynamic has to change. And the only way it's going to change is total independence. Total independence. See, I don't want to hear from a man who has over $1 billion or hundreds of millions. You can't tell me that you can't pool your resources with other brothers and create something that's going to put you in total independence. Now, like Damon John and a few other brothers created Fubu. I liked Fubu. I liked it. Yet, it was short-lived. Short-lived. He's not even doing that no more. You know what Damon John's doing right now? He's sitting on Shark Tank. Peace to Brother Godbody. Salute to you, brother. Thanks for coming up. If you like, brother, please hit the link. You know you're always welcome here. Damon John's on Shark Tank now, and he's making deals with other businesses. You know, he's being a shark. He's with the sharks instead of, you know, going out here seeing how he can invest in other businesses and create other things with his own brothers and sisters. But I have to really think about that now, because when Damon John spoke good of the minister, when the minister spoke at DMX's funeral, he had to retract his nice statement of the minister. All he said was what the minister said was inspiring and powerful. And then after that, some Jewish woman tweeted him and asked a rhetorical question to the minister. She asked, do Louis Farrakhan pay Black entertainers and entrepreneurs? That's a rhetorical question, because she know that the minister doesn't. And he went back and he retracted his statement about the minister, and then talk about his Jewish stepfather. You can't even say nothing nice about our own brother, because they don't like him. They expect us not to like him. Can't say nothing nice about him. And that's what you call controlling a person. That's control.
Going with their narrative.
Exactly.
Total control. That's what it means to be anti-Semitic, to go against their narrative.
Exactly. To go against what they tell you, what you should be thinking and how you should be thinking. If you're not thinking how they're thinking, you're anti-Semitic. It's not anti-Semitic to call somebody out on something. That's not anti-Semitic. If you are telling the truth about a person, that's not anti-them. The answer to that is change your ways. If somebody's telling the truth about you, that's the answer to that. You don't say, okay, we're just going to silence him. We're not going to allow him to speak on any social media because we don't like what he's saying. And then they'll say, what we're saying is causing violence. And what's crazy about that, Brother Key, is you'll have Jewish people saying that what Kanye West said is causing violence towards them, when nobody Black is doing violence towards Jewish people. It's Caucasians doing Black towards Jewish people. There's no way in hell something we're going to say is going to ignite a white supremacist. No way.
That's right. That's right.
No damn way. Nothing we say going to ignite them. So
it's all a play on words. It's
exactly,
crazy, brother.
they'll say what Kanye West said ignited some attacks against Jewish people. No, if Jewish people are attacked, it's because that particular person felt that way. It's wrong as it is. It don't got nothing to do with us. As wrong as it is. And I'm going to say it. Kanye West should have never said that DEF CON shit. That shit was wrong, man. Should have never said that shit. That shit was crazy to me. You don't say shit like that because that shit was fucked up that happened.
Yeah, he should have just left that shit where it was at. But apparently he has a method. And it's madness, but apparently he has a method.
That shit was crazy right there. Though people don't care about our sojourn and what happened with us, it's not in our nature to just be hateful like that. Just not in our nature. And not only that, you're not supposed to become what you despise anyway. If you see a person that's hateful, you're not supposed to become that person. You just stay away from that person, remain vigilant, and fight with those who fight against you. But you don't become that person. Because if you don't like that person, why would you become that person?
That's right. That way that means you being possessed by that person.
Exactly. That person has reproduced themselves through you if you become that person. Then that's influence. When you become a person you don't like, that's some influence for you.
Their energy was that strong to make an impression on you, and you don't like it, and you became it. That shit deep.
Yeah, good brother, but it's apparent that they're moving in desperation now because when people are being called anti-Semitic, they're having to explain themselves, and they can't. They can't explain themselves because you just can't call somebody anti-Semitic for something they say, because to be anti something, you have to do an action. So they added the word trope. Another trick bag. They added the word trope, which is very broad, to give them wiggle room for them to figure out the lie to tell, to give them wiggle room. Because if you say somebody's anti-Semitic and you can't come up with something that they did to make them anti-Semitic, you're lying. So they'll say this have anti-Semitic tropes. In other words, I'm white and I say so, or I'm wherever and I say so, because they don't consider themselves white for some reason.
They able to move the goalpost.
Exactly. And what's crazy about that, they don't consider themselves white, yet some of them exercise white supremacy. Now, I'm going to go on and I'm going to say this because I'm going to say this too. It's a lot of Jewish people that don't share their sentiment either. Because I can go to videos where Jews are speaking against that behavior. It's Jews speak against that behavior. Where at least in public, they don't share that sentiment. I don't know. But I can't do nothing but take their word for it. It's a lot of Jewish people that don't share that sentiment. It's a lot of Jewish people coming out and saying that they're using that as a trick because they don't want to be called out.
Yeah, you're right. They comparing it to their situation and they going against it.
They're like, now they just don't want to be called out on their foolishness. That's what some of the Jewish people are saying. These people who are doing that, they don't want to be called out. So they're saying you're anti-Semitic to discourage you from calling them out. It's Jewish people saying that. A lot of them are not with, the lies and the calling people anti-Semitic for nothing. They're not. A lot of them not with that.
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, yeah, a lot of them, man, is trying to have a voice. Hopefully we can see more of them, man. With more platforms to speak and talk on too, because there will be an enlightenment on the situation as well.
I'm going to compile some excerpts of Jewish people speaking out against, real anti-Semitism. Because when you lie on somebody, bro, you call them anti-Semitic, which is ugly. They made it real ugly to an ugly thing to be. And you call somebody that, and you got somebody else calling them that. You got the whole world referring to that person as that. That's wicked. Especially when that person is not that. But the whole world see that person as that because it was repeated so many times.
Yeah, they know how to advertise.
That's
They
wicked.
know how to advertise and market whatever they need to be promoted to the people. So, once they do that and program the people with their advertisement, um, you know, they done got good at this, man, over time and with many different methods and form of warfare. They've basically um got into, tactical warfare with us in the form of sending waves, whether these waves are going through our motherfucking veins or our ears to our brains.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna get me a compilation though. Because that need to be heard. That everybody don't share that sentiment. It need to be heard. Because I forgot who it was. It was a rabbi. I think it was the rabbi that debated Dr. Wesley Muhammad. He came out against that. You say no, 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 no. He's not anti-Semitic because if those person did that to him and all he did was say they did it, how does that make them anti-Semitic? What I disagree with Kanye did when he mentioned that DEF CON, he should have never said that.
Oh yeah.
He should have never said that because knowing what that is, you don't say that. Knowing what happened,
Right.
I don't know if he's ignorant to what happened, but you don't say nothing like that, man. It's like somebody saying, I'm gonna go straight up Willie Lynch on these niggas. You just imagine if Biden said that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm gonna go Willie
And
Lynch.
I think
I'm gonna go Sir John Hawkins on these motherfuckers. That'd be crazy.
I think he knows, and I think it was meant for him to, do and say like what he's saying and doing, just so it'll play the narrative out. We
Yeah,
gotta understand, even with this, hey man, it's a lot going on. And man, I think, like I always say, I'm gonna keep saying it, man. More of these bills and conversations and understandings will have us in a far better place one day with these type of issues.
yeah. But that profound truth that he told, was coming out with Balenciaga and all that stuff, they can't say a damn thing to nobody now. But they've been exposed. They've been exposed like hell. They got babies on the damn ads with stuffed animals in bondage.
Right.
Ropes and nooses around their necks and stuff like that. Change like shackles and change like like stuffed animal slaves and stuff. And then the suggestion of pedophilia on their ads and stuff. So
Yeah, man.
they've been exposed.
Oh
They
yeah.
can't. They don't have
That's
any credibility, brother.
you
So
know, they need to, and I think they showing like I don't think it matter if they know or not, because I think we're at a point right now to where they can just blatantly tell us, and it really ain't too much we can do about it, for the simple fact that we still gotta like eat and shit right now. You know what I mean?
yeah,
I think it's just a scare tactic for us to go ahead and figure out how to just try to do more things ourselves. I think that's what they want to push. I think that's the agenda, for more people to start trying to. And I don't want to get too off subject, and we can go into this at a later time.
once we start, once we stop being so superficial and trendy and stuff like that, we'll have more of our money in our pockets and we'll exercise more power when we decide that our money need to stay with us and not go right back into the pockets, circulating around outside our community instead of circulating in our community. We need to realize that because it's bad with somebody we have when they say that we have 1 point something trillion-dollar spending power. No, we need to turn that power into real power. It shouldn't be spending power. They don't say that about nobody else but us, meaning that we are only consumers. That's crazy. We have, as a people, over $1 trillion in this economy. That's power, but we
Right.
don't exercise that power.
I think
All
it's
we
double talking on us then when they
exactly,
say that, because I feel like even though we spend our dollar outside of the black community, it doesn't always have to not benefit us. I think that we're so shot out of the survival rocket of pocket, you know what I mean, that we look at it like that, and then the shit that we do get that's not worth nothing, we just look for survival. Oh, we can't eat it, we can't drink it, we can't put it in
right?
our bodies or nothing. Oh, it's not useful. And we're not saying, hey man, this the world we living in. We done bought all this jewelry, these clothes, and all this shit. Let me see how this shit gonna be resourceful for me now.
Yeah,
Even if it's with the clothes, okay, man, let me shred this shit up and see what can I redo with this fabric now, kind of shit. Like, you see what I'm saying?
exactly.
These type of thoughts and shit, man, we gotta be innovative these days, man, because we're living inside of a world that they want to happen. So we can't try to look to find shit that we want in life in this life that we live in.
Absolutely. We need to take our matters into our own hands, brother.
Yep. And once we get free with it, it's just like riding a bike. The bike only be shaking at first while we riding it because we scared. Like, the little kids, I raised like a lot of children, right? And I showed a lot of the children how to ride a bike. But I see some of these kids who ain't scared of nothing, like, okay, you gonna let me go? Okay, I'm gonna ride. Boom. Soon let the first time they leave, they be riding the bike. And I be like,
Yeah,
damn, they ain't
yeah.
scared. But the one who's
Just
scared
push,
steady
push them off.
shaking, oh no, I'm gonna fall. Then they fall. It's cause you scared. Once you just get used to I ain't gonna fall, it's over with then.
Yeah. Once that person had that self security, once that person had that self security, peace to the Taz show.
Peace and love, gentlemen. How is everybody doing?
Everybody's fine over here, brother. How you doing?
Pretty good, pretty good. Just
My
checking
brother
in.
Taz, salute.
Hey, what's good, brother? How are you?
and we're speaking about the
I'm sorry.
dehumanizing our people for entertainment. We just going in on many ways that occur. Just building, brother. Thank you for coming up. And you got anything to add to what we were speaking about?
Well, I was listening and I was intrigued by the build, so that's why I popped up because it's very very interesting what you guys are talking about. But I'm gonna listen just for right now.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. But thank you for coming up, brother.
Yeah, most definitely, most definitely.
When you gonna do this Christmas decipher, bro? When you gonna do that?
I already did the first part. Tomorrow will be part two of that event. So there is a three-part series. So
What
I'll
time you doing it tomorrow? Cause I need to see that, brother.
7 p.m. Central Time.
Okay, I need to see that, brother. Definitely need to. I need to hear this.
Yeah, yeah, most
Yeah,
definitely.
and I need to. Is it kid appropriate? Cause the children who I
Oh,
get the
yeah, yeah,
toys to.
yeah. I make all
Okay,
my
yeah.
I make all my excuse my son in the background. He going nuts and stuff.
No,
But
no, no. You good, brother?
but yeah, it's kid appropriate. I always make sure there might be a little a profanity here and there or whatever, but as far as the content and what we're talking about, it's all it's all very very friendly towards any age whatsoever, and it
Okay,
always is,
that's what's up.
from a melanated aspect or perspective, if you want to say that. So it will be intriguing for a child for sure. I try to make it as animated as possible. My powerpoints are always very visual, very attractive or whatever. It's just so not everybody learns the same way, so I try to bring out how I learned, because I can't repeat stuff, I can't remember stuff all the time or whatever. So unless I see something moving or some action going on or whatever to keep me at attention, because otherwise I lose attention real quick. But it's very kid friendly though.
Yeah, I have to hear this, brother, cause that's what I'm into, brother. Cause I did a stream last week of who benefits from the holidays most,
Right.
and we all know it's not Christians who benefit from these holidays the most.
Yeah, most definitely, and I go into every angle, from like the roots of how Christmas started, the how it was plagiarized, and from there, just how it involves the economy, because Christmas is if I'm not mistaken, it's either the first or the second most celebrated holiday. If it's the second, it's only second to what's that thing on February?
Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day. Yes, correct. It only comes second to Valentine's Day, and is the most profitable holiday that there is out there all together, including with Valentine's Day, because you regularly you go buy you a dozen roses, for like, I don't know, about 10, 15 bucks, or something like that, maybe a dub or something. But in that day, even if you order ahead of time, a dozen roses, even if it's not a bouquet or anything, it's gonna cost you no less than $50. If you wanna
Yeah,
have an arrangement, then you gonna pay some money for that. Oh, you love your mama? Let's see how much you love her. And that shouldn't be what we're trying to teach people. That
exactly.
you got to spend more money to show more affection or more love. So those two, those are the two most celebrated holidays that our people, whether it be blacks or Latinos, that we're so into them, and we don't benefit one bit from it. We actually lose.
No, we don't. No, we
Right.
don't. We don't benefit from none of that, brother.
So,
The Walton family benefit from that.
oh yeah, 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 most
The,
definitely.
the Macy family in Coles and Target and
Yeah.
Best Buy, all them they benefit from that. All
Right,
the
and
electronic stores.
they're just the tip of the iceberg, because you got to get to these places. So transportation is gonna make money, more
Yep,
than usual, because everybody's out and about. If you are out and about, you gonna want something to eat. You want to make, oh, it's Christmas, it's the time to splurge or whatever. Do you know that there's even a law, brother, that prevents uh, um bill collectors to contact you on the date of December? It's called the Santa Claus. I explained this on my
it's
on
a clause, huh?
yeah, it's a clause. It's
Wow,
called the
wow,
Santa Claus.
Brother, that's deep. Brother, that's deep.
So
that's
it's called
something.
the Santa Claus,
Salute to Taz, man.
in place so you don't have to worry about the debt that you already into during the month of December. They cannot. That's why you see that during the month of December, if you have any debts, they never reach out to you to tell you, hey, listen, you owe us this, and why are you behind? They don't care during that month because they want you to get into more debt. That's
Exactly.
that you're gonna get into even more debt. So I break down the straw man as well during the Christmas. I
Definitely got to hear this. I definitely got to hear this, brother. When you get that bill in January, February from all them damn lights, because around where I live at, brother, people houses be lit up. I'm like, boy, PFC and G gonna kill
Yeah,
them
right. Your light bill
lights.
gonna be your light bill is gonna be higher than usual during the month of November and December. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So
You pay
it's
that
like,
bill to April.
yeah, it's like the holiday itself just promotes spending. That's all it does. Is promote
Yeah.
spending. And then on top of that, aside from the from the mental message that it says to our children, sends to our
Yes.
children, because of the
Yes.
fact that it tells our children that in order for you to be good, or I'm sorry, that for you to get something, you have to be good. So it's not giving them the initiative to be good because being good is the right thing to do. It's not like, oh, I'm gonna be good all year because that's when I get gifts at the end of the year. So
Yeah.
that in itself is
But
the
what's
detriment to our children.
but what's crazy about that, brother Taz, is in the song it say, you better not pout. I'm telling you why. You better not cry, all that, because Santa Claus was coming to town.
Fact.
But in the song, it also said, so be good for goodness sake.
Yeah.
That's not being good for goodness sake.
Right.
If you worried about not getting nothing for Santa,
Fact.
being good for goodness sake is being good because good is good.
Right. Right. And it's so horrible that that we're the ones that put this idea. We are the first people to crush our children's heart, and it's sad. It's
Facts.
sad because from day one, the minute they comprehend what we're speaking on, we tell them lying is bad. Lying is bad. You
Exactly.
better not ever lie to me. Lying is the worst thing you could do. No lying, no lying. But the first thing we tell them is a straight lie about a fat man that runs all over the place and he brings you gift, but you gotta be good all year. And then as they get older, there is some bully or some kid that that his heart was crushed. So he has to make somebody feel the same way just so he could feel better. So when he sees that our children believe in Santa Claus, they come and mock him. You still believe in Santa, you fool. That's your daddy, the one putting those gifts under there. That's your mama putting them gifts under there. Santa Claus don't exist. No, he does exist. My daddy told me, and he told me lying is bad. There is Santa Claus. I know it. My parents told me. Then the kid goes and tell their parents, Dad, this kid at school said blah 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 blah. And you're like, you know what? I think you're old enough to know the truth. Wait, what?
No, you should have told the truth the first time.
Hey, wait, what you mean I'm old enough to know the truth? So how much more have you been lying to me about?
But you know what's crazy though, Taz? When I was celebrating Christmas when I was younger, my father never lied to us about that. My father would take us Christmas shopping with him. He never lied to us about
You're a
that.
man,
I mean,
though.
what's crazy about that? Why would you work hard, save money, buy your children? My father had 7 children. and he spent money on us. He's not giving that credit to nobody.
Right, exactly. Why would you give that credit to somebody else? But that's the religious aspect, brother. That's that religion that tells you
But
if you did something good, it was
brother
because
Taz,
God.
brother Taz, but you giving the credit to Satan,
Yeah, yeah,
because Santa Claus is Satan.
yeah, yeah. Most definitely, most definitely. You know, it's an anagram. You know, where you just switch a couple letters or whatever, and
Exactly.
a blink a blam. You know, one becomes the other. You know, they both wear
Santa's
red. You know,
Santa's clause. You
right?
could take that as a clause, or you could take it as claws, like a claw,
Yeah,
and they get caught in the claw.
yeah, most definitely. So yeah, this is one of them holidays where I make sure that if you want to celebrate it, I'm gonna make sure I let you know that what you're doing is bogus and what you're doing to your children is a detriment not only to them but to what they're gonna be when they grow up because they're living a fallacy and we're integrating that into their life.
Yeah, we should kill. We shouldn't even introduce that to them. See, I
Right.
never did that with mine.
Yeah.
I never introduced it to them at all. No Santa Claus, no tree in my house, none of that.
Right. Yeah. 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 For the last, I would say for the last, because I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I'm better than anybody else. You know, I celebrated Christmas many a years. You know, I'm 47 years old, and I celebrated that shit a lot of times. You know, I
I
always
didn't
heard there was
I
a
didn't
truth.
do it in my adult life. None of
Yeah.
my adult life did I. None of my adult life didn't. I can honestly say that I didn't do it in my adult life.
I
I stopped that a long time ago
I
and
basically
never introduced it to my children.
I introduced it to my children, and it was at that moment when they came and I was starting to awaken. I was in the process of my awakening, and I don't know if it was my son or my daughter, but they came to tell me the same thing that I just told you. Somebody told them in school that Santa Claus doesn't exist, you know, and you have no idea how I felt that I felt so minuscule telling them the truth and not being able to change that look on their face because it was a look of disappointment, a look
Yes.
of like, how dare you? Like, bro, you've been telling me all this stuff all this time and it was a lie?
Yeah, you know, a lot of people they set the stage too, brother. They'll leave the cookies out and they'll hide the gifts. They'll hide the gifts until like put the gifts up in the basement or in the attic. They'll hide the gifts and bring the gifts while the child is asleep at night. The
Bro,
child,
one day I went as far as I went outside and grabbed my boots, and I started walking in the snow and came back inside and put the snow prints all over the house as to pretend. I'm like, oh shit, look, guys, Santa was here. Look at the snow. He must have came, bro. I went all in. I went all in. I went all in, and I regret it, Joe. I regret it, but you learn from your mistakes, and
exactly, exactly.
the
You
problem
know,
is when you don't learn from the mistakes and you keep making the same mistakes over and over, expecting different results, and that's literally the definition of insanity.
but
Doing
you
the
know, when a person do things like that, brother, it's not really a mistake. When they constantly do stuff like that, that's them, brother.
Yeah,
It's them. That's who that person is. If you constantly if you constantly gonna live in a lie, you're a liar. That's it. But when you realize what you're doing and you say, you know what, I'm not doing that anymore, that's your awakening. Like you said, when you got your awakening and you decided, well, you know what, I'm not gonna lie to my babies anymore. Even if I celebrate this, they gonna know I bought the shit. You know what I'm saying? But I don't. I never introduced it to my children. But if I did, they gonna know I bought it.
right. That's
But
what I try to tell people. I'm like, man, listen, at least be man enough that if you are gonna celebrate it, because for whatever reason, it doesn't matter the reason of why you're celebrating, but if you are celebrating, at least celebrate in truth. Tell them about this holiday and how that that whole story of the man and the reindeer, and that you don't tell them that that's all a lie. That, bro, I work hard all this time to
Exactly.
get you this stuff or whatever. Whatever's under that tree, me and your mama put that there with our
Exactly.
hard
Mom
work.
and dad. Mom and
Right.
dad. Let me tell you something, bro. My dad bought us one year, brother. We was I think too young for that shit. He bought us all musical instruments. I mean expensive shit. Keyboards, drum sets, trumpets, horns, xylophones. He bought us all that stuff, bro. And we ain't know we tore that shit up. We making stuff for our GI Joes and stuff with that. Man, we tore that stuff up, bro. We tore it up because my father wanted us to do music, and we said we wanted it, so he went out and got it. But we tore it up. But he wasn't giving the credit to Santa. No, he wasn't doing that. He'll put on that little slip, the little tags that you tape to the gift from dad to whoever child it is going to.
Yeah, most definitely.
From mom to whoever child is going to.
And another thing that crushes our children's just whole being, is you first you tell them, that there has to be a well behavior throughout the year for you to get something. But what happens when they write that letter to Santa and they ask for something that you can't afford right now, but they were good all year, and at the end of the year they don't get what they asked for? What do you think that tells them?
Yeah, I mean that's what some of us did, brother. You
Yeah,
know.
a lot of us. I mean, a lot of us did this. I mean, I know I did, and that's why I do what I do now, bro. Because there ain't no tree, no lights outside. Or no. Every time I tell somebody, oh, I don't celebrate. Oh, you a Muslim? I'm like, what the heck?
See, the thing is, brother, I started teaching because I'm NOI. So I started teaching, dealing with, Jeremiah chapter 10, which speaks against Christmas, really. I'm like, look, y'all celebrate something when the Bible speaks against Christmas. At least the way y'all celebrate it, it speaks against it.
Those
If
are
you
facts.
if you read Jeremiah chapter 10, the Bible speaks against how they celebrate Christmas. It referred to how they celebrate it as heathenists. Describes the tree, the ornaments, the star. It describes all that in the scripture. But you can't tell somebody that their answer, their go-to answer.
Right.
It's for the kids, man. It's just the
Right.
kids.
Yeah, that's the first excuse.
That's their go-to answer to that. But
Yeah.
you could buy your children toys anytime you want. You gonna let them tell you when to buy your kids something. Toys R Us open all damn year. Back then, anyway, I don't know nothing about a toy store now. KB Toys, they had toys up there. Play World, they had all these stores back then. They're
Yeah.
open all damn year. And
Yeah.
not only that, Walmart got all them damn toys now. You can go your child birthday come, you buy them a gift.
Yeah.
They into toys.
Yeah, that's how I initiated that shit. I told my wife, I'm like, man, why can't we create our own day? Why does it have to be on December? Why can't we do it in shit in April, May, any day, anytime? Just something that a tradition that we start. Why do we gotta
Exactly.
follow along?
Exactly. You're following. I call it holidays. I don't call it holiday. I call it holidays
Yeah,
because we don't benefit from it. A lot of times you got to re-up all the way to April, and then what's coming around in April, into March, April, you're going out, you're buying dresses, and you're buying damn suits for your sons and dresses for your daughters, and you're buying a whole bunch of damn dye for eggs and jelly beans and all kind of crazy.
right. And both of those things don't even have nothing to do with Jesus. Like, like
You got
biblically,
a bunny rabbit laying. You got a bunny rabbit laying fucking eggs.
right? And they don't even lay eggs.
You got a bunny rabbit laying eggs.
Yeah, seriously, but
You
they
don't
do.
realize that that same jackrabbit. See, Easter is really synonymous to sex.
Get more, yeah,
The same jackrabbit is the same one. It's not ironic that the rabbit is used with Playboy too. So it's the same rabbit.
right. Those are facts.
All that stuff is synonymous. And the egg symbolizes fertility.
Right.
Our people
You
don't
know,
realize that also.
a lot of
And so does the jelly bean. It symbolizes fertility. Because that's a small egg.
yeah, a lot of this fertility goddesses from the past, they're always represented by a rabbit. Like if you look at Ishtar, Ishtar is always holding a rabbit, and she's the goddess of fertility. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Esther, right?
Right, right. Ishtar
Esther.
is Easter. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. See, people don't see. People don't. You got to tie Esther into the real birthday they're celebrating, Nimrod.
Right. Yeah.
Nimrod and Esther. Let me tell you how diabolical it is. How much of a fool they're making our people out of.
Go ahead, bro.
Esther and Nimrod was son and daughter.
No shit.
Esther and Nimrod had an ancestral relationship, and they had a child, which made him the father and the son. The father of his child by his mother, but the son of his mother, the father and the son. That's how much of a fool they're making out of us out
That's
of.
the story of Lot. Lot and his daughters. Their country was destroyed, or the world was destroyed. I can't recall the exact thing or whatever, but their daughters were like, now what are we gonna do?
Yeah,
We supposed to marry or whatever, and what did they end up doing? They ended up getting their father drunk and had sex with him and impregnated themselves with them, and that's where the lineage comes about.
exactly. I mean, but we are celebratory with that, and we don't realize that the hiding of the egg and finding the egg symbolizes the game called hide and go get it. They
Now,
chase the girl, and when they catch the girl, that's what happens. All of this stuff is intertwined with these holidays. They're intertwined with these holidays. Well, holidays is what I call them.
right. Now, you do just to make the association even more. I talked about this on part one. To make more the association with sex itself. Do you know that the word gift it's an acronym that means that each letter stands for something.
Okay.
GIF stands for gamete intrafallopian tube transfer, which
Uh,
is what they do to women when they can't reproduce, so they get a gift or a
okay.
transfer of one egg from one woman to another woman, a fertilized egg. All right,
Okay.
we're talking about a fertilized egg. We know we're talking about a rabbit, because
Right.
rabbits are very fertile and shit. That's why they say, "Oh, damn, you fuck like rabbits and shit."
Right.
But
Right.
now you see the association between the gift that we're giving, the sexuality part, and the
Yep.
fact that it stands literally for gamete intrafallopian tube transfer, which is the exchange of egg. A woman gives
Taught me
you
something today, brother. Taught me something today.
that's insanity. How far it goes into the
It
sexual
is.
concept that you were talking about.
It is. It's like this was all schematically planned, brother.
Facts.
And in this ritualistic too, because it's celebrated every single year.
Yeah,
every single year.
every single year.
Crazy. That's nuts right there. But are you tomorrow at 7?
Yeah, tomorrow at 7 o'clock. Correct.
Definitely, but I'll be there.
Yeah, I appreciate you. It'll be it'll be me and two other sisters that are usually, well, one Yasini, you probably know her. She's usually with me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know the sister. She's the one who told me about Dr. Ava passing. I didn't even know until she told me. And I called my minister, and my minister was like, "Yeah, it's true."
Yeah, she be going in, bro.
That's what's up, brother.
You still here?
So what you think about dehumanization of our people for entertainment?
Man, I was talking to my wife about how the music industry, is just so
I'm
manipulated.
still here, good brother.
Good, good, good. They're so manipulative, towards our people, and I don't think we understand how far deep the concept of music and indoctrination goes. How they're doing all these specific things to make sure that they are, it's a detriment to us. For example, music, when it had that change, to what we know today as gangster rap.
Yes,
That was literally pre-planned. There's a video of I think it's Busy Bone from Bone Thugs and Harmony. He explains how back in the day, when everybody was like popping, Bone Thugs was out, uh, 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 the beef between Tupac and Biggie or whatever. You had Snoop in another corner. While these people were popping, they came and told them that they were gonna change the game. They had a meeting. They had a mandatory meeting that they received a phone call about, and in this meeting they were told that there will be no more uplifting music coming up, but there will be now gangster rap where they're going to be talking about shooting, talking about women, in a derogatory way, among other things that we know that is affiliated with gangster rap, and that they were free to not follow it, but that the label that they were under was gonna follow that concept. So if they didn't follow the concept, that was it. That they were never gonna be heard from the not by the industry, because we know these people control the industry. The entertainment industry altogether.
yeah. That explains that meeting that they had with the prison industrial complex, the the record executives and the prison industrial complex, and they changed everything when it comes to the music, because it was a lot of traction being gained as far as like changing the conscious level of our people. We had the poor righteous teachers, we had the public enemies, the brand Nubians, the you know X Clan and KRS One, Big Daddy Kane. When they were spitting, that real shit, and a lot of our people was we was acting when something happened. We would actually do something when something happened, when those brothers were spitting those type of lyrics. And now when you have like when Sean Bell passed away, the number one song was Lick Me Like a Lollipop. And then when he was killed, they didn't respond at all. So our music sort of makes us respond in a certain way. If if we put out music that's detrimental to us, and we're not putting out stuff that's revolutionary, it determines our response.
It does. It does. A great example of that is the baby boom era. That I don't know how how old everybody listening is or whatever, but I was there in my teenage years throughout that so-called baby boom era that happened between the late 80s and the 90s. And the reason why that took place was because this is when they had all this baby making music. You know, you had Keith Sweat. You know,
Yeah,
you
baby face.
right. You know, so you had all these people with this groovy music, you know, where it just talked about sex and you know and this and I want to lick you up and down, you know, and all these songs that we all grew up with, and you know, and to us it was like, hey, you know, but we didn't know the state of mind that it was putting us under.
Yeah, programming. It's
Yeah,
programming. Straight
yeah,
up programming. To our
I,
detriment. To our detriment, because and it was promoting actual irresponsibility, because there's a lot of children that was brought in this world with those songs
yeah.
through those artists. You know,
They knew that this is how I know that everything's pre-planned. They knew that those songs with that music was gonna work because they had already done the main thing that they needed to do. They needed to take the father out the home.
exactly.
Once they took the father out the home, there's no longer a protector that's gonna know game. There's no longer
And
uh,
also most of the law go out the house too.
right, you know. So
The law and order is out the house, bro.
yeah,
Period.
yeah. So it's all like a premeditated well it is premeditated events, you know, but
Yes, it is. It's premeditated.
yeah, but it's definitely psychological, premeditated psychological attacks that actually have an effect on us, by just listening or watching whatever whether
Exactly.
it's a movie or
Exactly.
you know or music, you know.
That's
This
why I say war is not always violent, brother.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's not always violent. When people do, they got us so fixated in boom, 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 boom. Ta, 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 ta. That's not what war is all about.
Mhm.
I mean, if that's what you think, war is only, you need a late pass. You're late.
I encourage everybody under any platform that is listening to us. If you catch this later or whatever, go and read the books, the 48 Laws of Power
Yes, good book.
and the Art of War,
Good
and you're
book.
gonna find out that you don't gotta beat someone down to make them submit. You
Exactly.
don't have to lift a finger to make somebody submit. It is actually truth and correct that the brute strength is the one that's emotional and is a reactive way of how we react to whatever is taking place. But an analytical man or somebody that's in the right state, they think ahead like, I'm not gonna fight this dude for what? Not because I can't beat him, or maybe you can't beat him, but you can't beat him physically, but you could make him submit. Because the people that got us under control right now, they're not no big bad wolf.
No, they're not.
They're not.
They're
Think,
not. They're
think.
not, brother.
What's that movie, brother? Um, Walking down the yellow brick road or whatever.
Wizard of Oz.
No, with Dorothy and stuff.
The Wizard of Oz.
The Wizard of Oz. Yeah, 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 yeah. The Wizard of Oz. Who was controlling everything? It was this midget dude. I am the great wizard.
Sound effects behind the curtains. Sound effects behind the curtains, brother. He was a straight chump. Straight chump. And that's what it is. And that's why they don't want us to teach the true history. They call it critical race theory because it's critical of them and expose them for who they really are. They're not as great as they say they are. And they was never as great as they say they are. So that's, they want to maintain their falsehood, their false greatness. So therefore they don't want us teaching the true history. Because if you have to rob and steal and lie to get what you have, you're not great. You're not great. We don't. We have been innovative, and if we are the way they are, they or the way they were, we're that way today. Wherever we are today, we were made in America. Period. And it's learned behavior because our natural state, you could tell our natural state is not that way because we just can't get down dirty and wicked. We can't because it's not in our nature. Because if it was, we'll change the dynamic of our people condition in a matter of minutes. But
Yep.
we just don't got it in us to be downright wicked and just like that. We just don't got it in us to do that. But they do.
Oh, definitely.
They got it in them. And they'll use any tactic to push across their narrative. They'll tell a lie on one of us, repeat it, they repeat it, repeat it, repeat it until we submit. You just said it. You just said it doesn't take for the brute strength to beat somebody in submission. No, if you're a steadfast person in your wickedness and you exercise the little power that you do have constantly, you wear the person down till they get on TV and say, "Yo, maybe I should have said it like that. I got
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I apologize and all that. You know,
You
they
got a
stay
motherfucker
on
he apologizing. You got power.
you. And I mean, and what's crazy about it, you apologize for telling the truth. That's crazy. We need to stop that, brother. We'll apologize for telling the truth.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't know if you've seen that interview with it's Crazy Bone. It's not Busy Bone. It was Crazy Bone. But in case that you do want to see it or whatever, I dropped it in the private chat or whatever, so you could
Okay, I appreciate that, brother.
yeah, so you could check out the video. And he breaks it down, like breaks it down how everybody was there. Everybody that was anybody that was anybody was there, and they were told you going to bow down or you going to bow down. If not, nobody's ever gonna know about y'all. You know,
Wow. I
and that's
remember somebody associated to Master P gave his testimony on that too. He's talking about how they drug you up and stuff, and you wake up in the morning, they got you on tape doing some crazy shit,
yeah,
and they
yeah,
got you,
yeah.
and they got you. Let me
Now
tell you something, bro. Let me tell you something. I used to, do bodyguard work for a lot of these cats, and I seen a little something, little things, but certain places I wouldn't go. But I used to be bodyguard for. I mean, it's wicked, bro. It's wicked as you would think it is. How wicked you think it is that wicked. Put it
mhm.
that way. Have you ever read the book, Dancing with the Devil?
No, I have not.
Good book by Mark Curry. Used to be on Bad Boys.
Okay, I'm gonna check that out for sure.
How Puff Burnt the Bad Boys of Hip Hop. Good book. It's another book called um, um, Hip Hop Decoded
Okay,
by Black Dot. Another good book. The Psychological Covert War on Hip Hop by Professor Griff. Another good book. You read those books, brother, you'll be like, wow. Especially how Puff burnt the bad boys of hip hop. He talks about G Dep, he talks about Big, he talks about Toto, he talks about Carl Thomas, talks about Faith, talks about everybody that was associated with the bad boys and how he burnt them. You see, the only person that's successful on his label is himself.
facts.
Nobody's successful on Bad Boys besides himself.
You gotta sell out to be successful.
Because he took a page out of Clive Davis's book. Clive Davis gave him the startup money for Bad Boys. And there's no telling what he did to get it.
And
But
if you don't take the offer they give you, they'll make sure that you don't become shit. They'll treat you like they treated Bill Cosby, like they treated Michael Jackson, Prince, all these motherfuckers.
they
That
would definitely do the dirt with you. The reason why they do the dirt with you, so they can have the dirt on you.
facts.
And they got the power to use the dirt y'all did together against you.
Right.
You
Because
don't have that power, but they do.
your ego ain't gonna allow you to let them go tell people that this happened, took place.
Exactly. They
If
do
that
the dirt.
damages the real you, that damages the real person or you know the actual living being that is known as whatever your name is.
Because Bill Cosby went to prison for something they all was doing.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
But he's the one they use as a scapegoat.
Yeah.
And the fact that they didn't give him a fair trial and they used dirty tactics to get him locked up is the reason why he's out now and they're gonna be sued.
That's the reason R. Kelly is locked up right now. But Hugh Hefner that literally married a whatchamacallit, underage child, and
And
got
so
caught.
many of them did that. Elvis Presley did it.
Right, Elvis Presley did it,
Woody Allen married his own adopted daughter. So you get the list goes on with that.
but nothing happened to them.
List goes on with that, bro. I think Elvis. I think what's the girl? The Presley girl was 13. Woody Allen's adopted daughter. She was a teen when he married her.
Those
He
are fact.
married his adopted daughter. What's his name? River Phoenix. Not River Phoenix. What's the girl name? The one who played on One Day at a Time. Um,
Oh,
he was messing with his daughter.
no,
He was messing with his own daughter. That's crazy. You gotta be insane.
insanity, bro. That's crazy. But if you don't listen to what they saying, then they try to erase you from
Yep.
the whole.
You won't be successful as whether you endeavor you are in. Tell you that much.
Very few will make it. One of the for me, this is just my personal opinion, but one of the greatest survivors of that and still became something is Lauren Hill, because they tried a dog walker and
I
she
love Lauryn Hill.
she still became super famous, like super famous. They
Lauren Hill. That one album, bro, was just that one solo project she did.
yeah.
Because you got to think, the Fugees, their first album, that shit sold like 16 million.
True fact.
And then her solo album sold about the same amount. That's diamond plus 6-time platinum. That's a lot of records.
Yeah.
That means she put a stamp on that. Some people don't sell that many albums in their whole career. She did in one album.
Yeah.
So and she played in the movie what's that, Sister Act. She played in that too. So she did that before she did the Fuji stuff.
Yeah.
So she
Wait. Hold on. Lauren Hill was on Sister Act.
Sister Act too. Yes, she was.
Holy moly! No way! Oh,
Yes. And what's crazy about that? She got booed on the Apollo.
I remember that.
She got booed.
Oh, she is in part two of Sister Act.
She's in part 2.
Did I not see that? And I'm like a super, but that's because I was too glamored by Whoopi Goldberg. I'm a super. I love me some Whoopi. My wife.
Man, you both, bro.
My wife know I love me some Whoopi.
Man, you both. Man, you both. I love Whoopi Goldberg too, so she's real funny to me.
Yeah.
My wife loves Whoopi Goldberg too, so my wife like her too. So
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Well, but it's messed up when they do when you know when they do that. But there is a lot. Bob Marley's another one,
Bob Marley, Stevie Wonder.
and Stevie Wonder's another one. Yeah. To this day, that dude does not have no hair on his tongue. He will say what he has to say, and no
Yeah,
matter what show he on.
that's a fact, bro. And what's crazy about it's a lot of those brothers who wanted to see. See, the thing is with Stevie, Barry Gordy protected him because he loved him. You know what I'm saying? And Stevie was a smart man. He was smart. His talent was undeniable. When you have undeniable talent as a musician and singer, and you're willing to invest your own money, because what brought Stevie over the top was when he did when he did the album in 1976, Songs in the Key of Life.
Yeah.
When he put that album out, he was like a free agent. His contract was up with Motown. So he went to Barry Gordy. I'm a biggest Stevie Wonder fan. I'm just letting you know that, brother. He went to Barry Gordy and said the project's done. He said, "Okay, let's go." Stevie said, "Well, look, mind you, it's 1976." Stevie said, "Well, I want 13 million up front." This was back in 76. And he was a free agent. He said, "I want 13 million up front to release this album."
Fact.
And Barry Gordy was like, "What?" He said, "I could release it myself, but I want 13 million to release this album." Barry Gordy said he had no choice but to give it to him because he wanted to keep him. He said, "You give me 13 million, I'm going to re-sign with Motown, and we good." Barry said it's the best $13 million he ever spent.
I bet.
And that was back then. Can you imagine what 13 million, that would be today? $13 million in 1976?
Dollar back then had some weight behind it.
13 million to 76, though.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money.
That's a whole lot of money. It would. I think it should equate to close to a half.
Yeah, definitely.
In this time right now.
Oh yeah, 13 million back then. That's about a half a billy, bro.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
What do you think, brother Key? $13 million in 76 would be equivalent to what, brother, today?
13 million?
Yeah, in 1976, would it be equivalent today?
Shit, I'd say about 80 million.
Something like that, right?
Between 80 and about 80 million, 90 million, yeah.
That's what Stevie Wonder got back in 76 to release Songs of the Key of Life up front.
Oh shit, are you serious?
Up front. I mean, he said that's what he got up front.
Yeah, after taxes, man, he said on a good 40, 50. Yeah. That was yeah. Damn.
That's what he said. He said
Damn, he was a rich dude.
Taxes weren't on that much bullshit back then, neither.
I mean, but a lot of people who thought they empower themselves back then, they got murdered. Like Sam Cooke.
See, life never really changed. See, people think we're doing better now. No, the value of the dollar's down now.
Yeah, exactly.
See, all this damn money on these dudes' arms that they holding out every day, that shit ain't worth. But like, if somebody got $2 million right now, right, it really ain't worth the dollar. Like what? Worth 70 cents. So $1 million really ain't worth nothing but like 700,000, and they gotta pay a 40% on that. So they ain't got nothing but like 400,000-500,000. You see what I'm saying? With 2 million.
Yeah.
And this real math, you know.
Yeah, because the dollar is depleting, it's dying.
Man, this been a fire bill. I was just listening to Taz go in for a minute, you know what I'm saying, with that Christmas.
Brother
And
be
I'm
going
definitely gonna use that, brother, if you don't mind. I saw you, but I ain't know if that was you or not on my Facebook. So now I know.
Oh yeah,
If
that
you
was.
don't mind, I wanna use your stuff, man. I wanna give it to the little ones, man. You know.
Go
I
ahead, bro.
think this is epic, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I appreciate the brother coming up too, brother, giving that information. But brother Taz, anytime you see me live, brother, you know you're welcome. I'll just let you know that.
I appreciate both you gentlemen.
Just let you know that, brother. You got, your contribution to the build. I appreciate it. You
Most
know,
definitely, most definitely. With that said, I just wanted to build with you guys a little bit. It was a very intriguing subject, and I think that it could go even deeper than what it's already been said. But I appreciate being able to come over here, and both of you, I'm gonna visit both of y'all. I try to show love to everybody, because if we
indeed,
don't help each other beat this algorithms, we ain't never gonna get our own content out there, So I'm always visiting, everybody's channel, and and I enjoy everybody, I think
indeed.
everybody has something to offer, so I appreciate the
I
build, y'all.
appreciate you, Terry.
and and hit me up if anything. All right, and if you guys have the time, make sure that you guys check me out tomorrow at 7.
Oh yeah, I definitely check you out, brother. I'm gonna check you out because
Oh yeah, we'll be
I
there tomorrow.
need to get this. Trust.
Most definitely, most definitely.
And
Well,
then I want to get with the brother so we can hit you up, man, and put a bill together with you. That way, we all
No doubt.
co-hosts, man, and we
No doubt.
just doing this thing like we sitting here tonight. That'll be beautiful, Tad.
oh, I'm game for that. I'm definitely game for
What's
that.
up? I'm definitely game for that. Yeah, we need to get together and just do a powerful build together, the three of us. A planned joint.
Yeah. Most definitely.
Man,
Hit me up. Let me know. You got me on Facebook now, bro. So so you could reach out to me. That's connected directly to my phone. So any message you send me or whatever, shit, I'll receive it immediately. But we'll connect up. I appreciate both of you, and y'all have a great night. All right.
You too, brother. Have a good night,
yes,
brother.
sir.
Salute to you.
Salute, my brother Tad.
Yeah, I'm with,
Oh
I'm
yeah,
with.
man. Y'all was going in. I was sitting back. I'm over here trying to find a vehicle that I can go buy tomorrow. So I was doing that, but I was listening, man. Y'all was going in and it was y'all was flowing like water and there just wasn't no spaces. So, I was like, shit, I don't really feel no need to break it. The energy was good. I appreciate that brother Taz, man.
Yeah, Taz always come through. Good brother. Appreciate the brother. Salute to him. And salute to you, good brother. It's a powerful bill. I'm about to lay down now.
Yes, sir. I gotta get up in the morning, man. I'm gonna shoot to Charlotte in the morning, look at this vehicle. But I will be calling you, man. I want you to
Wait,
get better.
you up north now?
No, I'm in Greenville.
Oh, you in Greenville? Okay,
I'm
all
just
right. Okay, okay.
yeah. I'm at my house over here, man, and I'm just fixing this up. So I'm working. That's why I'm up early, down late. But I want to make time for these bills, man. All this content been fired lately. All you content creators, man, I appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe, and please like, share, and subscribe tonight if you haven't. Yeah,
We got unfinished
yeah.
business too, brother. I already got it set up. We got unfinished building business. It's the hip hop joint. Let me read
Yeah,
it. Let me find it. Let me find it. I already got it set up on the StreamYard, but we just never got to do it. It's the let's see. It's the hip hop. It got boom bap. It got boom bap, commercial, gangster, drill, trill, trap. Which one is yours?
man, yeah. We can bring all of. I got to start getting these artists more engaged too. So I'll try to make like little postings throughout the week and stuff like that, so we can get them alert before the last minute, I think that'll work, so they can just dedicate their time. I think they just miss it most of the time. So that's what I'm gonna be working on for the next couple of days for you, just getting it out to them early. You know what I mean? Getting the commitment. That way we know who's gonna be there and who can't make it. And then we'll advertise who's giving us our word, who's gonna be there. It's gonna be a great show.
Indeed, because I'm a boom bap guy, I like the boom bap. I like the gangster too, but that boom bap, I just can't get that out my system.
Oh yeah. I rock with it all, man. It's just kind of depends on the who, what, when, and where.
No doubt, no doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah, brother. Well, we'll end the stream here. I think we tackled this situation, brother, pretty well.
Oh yeah, we can do a part 2 whenever you ready. Salutes to you, man. Salutes to the chat, the moderators, everybody out there, man. I'm giving y'all a big peace and power, man. Salutes. Much love and respect.
Peace and power to all the people. Honor and respect to you all. Thanks for coming through. Thank you, Brother Key Norfolk, for contributing to this, the powerful bill we always do. Salute to you. And this is the Enemy's Public. I am Bro.Nasir. Like, share, subscribe, leave a comment in the comment section. Peace.